All right, now we'll look at financial analysis of Bayer. So first we'll look at activity ratio, which is a ratio that determines the efficiency with which a company uses its assets and to convert it to sales or cash. So we use inventory turnover ratio, which is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory, and we get 3.58. When you get that number, you divide 365 days by that number, and you get the number of days that it takes Bayer to turn over their average amount of inventory, which is this 2 million. So we see in 2019 it's 102 days and 96 days in 2018. Next, we will look at liquidity ratios. So liquidity ratio is determines an ability for a debtor to pay off its current debt obligations with its without raising external capital. So a current ratio takes all current assets, and a quick ratio takes every current asset except for inventory. When we take that, we take the 9.6 million divided by the 23.1 million and get 4.16 and 0.329 in 2018 for our current ratio. And then for the quick ratio, we get the 7.4 million divided by the 23.1 and get 0.321 and 0.256. These are considerably low for liquidity ratios in the pharmaceutical industry. Usually it's around 3. However, Bayer has a lot of external investments from grants and government sources that aren't considered current investments that aren't taken into account here. So they would be able to pay off their debts quicker, I believe, than these numbers show. Next, we'll look at leverage ratio, which is the portion of debt a company has compared to its equity. So we take the total liabilities, which is 52.3 million divided by 27.6 million, which is the total stockholders' equity, and we get 1.9 for 2019 and 2.01 for 2018. Those are very, very high. Usually you want your leverage ratios to be about 1 to 1.4. This just means that Bayer raises a lot of capital or raises a lot of their money through financing instead of equity investments. The last one, profitability ratio. I just took gross margin, and which is just gross profit divided by net sales times 100 to get the percentage. So you take 6.2 million divided by 14.6 million and get 43.89% in 2018 and 46.27% in 2018. This just shows you that for every sale, 46.89% of that sale is gross profit. So that's pretty good. It's a little lower than average, but in terms of everything, that's a very good profitability margin or gross margin. Next, we will look at recommendations for top management people at Bayer. The first we will look at is attempt to change how the company raises capital in order to be a more liquid entity. This has to do with the leverage ratio I was talking about and the current ratios current and quick ratio I was talking about. Right now they raise a lot through loans instead of equity investment, which in turn lowers their current and quick ratios, which means they're not that liquid. So if they would instead raise money through equity investments, they would become more of a liquid asset, so it would be, or a liquid entity, so then it would be a safer investment just in case they got into struggling times and they needed to pay off a lot of debt right now. If your debt's so high, like there's that 52 million something, as a tough situation to be in. The second recommendation I would make is invest more towards research and development, especially in the pharmaceutical industry. You gain a lot of money through new ideas and new patents on new ideas and having those rights to produce those drugs that other companies don't. So if you take a look at a direct competitor to Bayer, Pfizer, they invest a lot more into R&D, and if Bayer could do the same, they would be more on that cutting edge and come up with new ideas and maybe be able to corner more of the market than they already have. The final recommendation I would make is to beware of new technology that will affect the industry in the near future. Yeah, I mean, technology nowadays is always changing. It's always becoming more applicable. It's faster. It's more capable of more things. So the one that they have already looked into is AI, and they need to continue that and kind of be a leader in the industry with using AI to manage their distribution channels and supply chains. This would lower their production costs and overhead, just because you're eliminating humans, and that humans eat up a lot of resources. So yeah, this would, if you master using AI, it would allow you to expand your influence over the market and maybe corner more of it.